It's here. It's here, Casey.
Get used to it.
It's here. We're playing Blood Bowl tonight at my house.
We are?
I mean, I am.
Oh man.
The homie Valerie is.
Ooh.
I guess you can come too. You get you a Blood Bowl team. I don't know what you're holding up on.
Yes.
Matt's by Mars came through.
Oh yeah.
Got me a custom vinyl Blood Bowl pitch with all the reference up and down both sides.
Things look
and the
sweet.
40K Fanatics shield at center field. Oh my, yes.
It looks amazing. Folks.
Unrolled that mug today. I also, I don't believe in living in the darkness like you do. So as we sit here in your dark old painting studio,
it's pretty bright in here.
I mean, it's getting better. You're doing better. But man, so we had 4 100-watt LED equivalent light bulbs in the fan fixture when you and I played our Crusade game at the Hizzy the other day.
Yeah.
And it was just a little bit dark.
It was pretty dark.
So I went out and bought 4 200-watt equivalent light bulbs. So we got some of like 9,000 lumens coming from the fan now, and it's like daytime in the gaming area of my house.
That's your long light, right?
What?
That's your long light with the tube?
No. These are 4 big O LED jobbers.
Okay.
I had to take all the little glass covers off of the fan because they wouldn't even fit. They're so large.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's real serious. You can see the pictures are going to look great. We will be posting them soonly. I got to learn Blood Bowl again because I'm not exactly sure that the community is playing right.
I've been dipping into it.
It's good.
Well, you are the games master of this channel. Maybe you could educate them. We did just do a teaching pod, so
sometimes you just got to run down the book. You know what I mean? You got to get the book. You got to go step by step, make sure you're catching all the stuff.
Get elbow deep in it.
Up in it. Hit that. Do we have announcements of any sort? We don't, do we? We came off of who won the orc painting competition.
We're doing March for Macragge.
I have half painted that guy.
I have third painted. Just the detail stuff, really. Which reminds me, usually you show up and I show you my models that I've been painting, and we didn't do that this time.
No,
we were talking about.
Got right into it.
Yeah,
I showed up in my golf attire.
All
and
business.
To talk about how I'm wearing slacks.
All business because of your pants.
That's right. And all I know is I'm classy, son. Open the bits box. I got stuff. Man.
Stuff and things.
Me and the homie Valerie popped over to shout out Gamers Haven for their Tuesday night hobbying. We both took a Judge Dredd model. I took that's very nice. I can't describe it to the people because it will taint our competition.
What's happening is
voting.
I just handed Shane my March for Macragge model.
Yes, that is a thing we should describe to the people, as this is an audio medium. Anyhow, we popped over to Gamers Haven for their Tuesday night hobby time. Hung out with the homie Austin. Shout out Jonathan.
How's he doing?
Jonathan's brother. Well, he was busy building goblins. So what he has done...
The gobos.
What I have done, what Austin has done lately...
What have you done?
Is that we have taken games that people are not that into and taken matters into our own hands.
Uh-huh.
So
Blood Bowl.
So me and the homie Valerie wanted to play Shatterpoint.
All right.
So by God, we've got nearly all the Shatterpoint.
You do, yeah.
It's slowly getting painted. If somebody wants to play Shatterpoint, they can come over to the house and have the premier Shatterpoint experience.
Faux show.
Same thing for the Judge Dredd game. We even have the new ABC Warrior coming from Warlord Games on the way. We may do, I may do a
Which
review
one's
of that. So you're
is that the
big robots?
Yeah,
yeah, the big robot from the movie.
Looks like Arnold.
Who looked like Stallone? Yeah.
Does he really look like Stallone?
I thought he looked like Stallone.
I thought it looked more like Arnold.
I don't know. It had a crooked mouth.
I thought it was funny because I was like, are they paying homage to Arnold in a Stallone movie because they were like rivals back in the day?
Well, that could have been. They did that in Last Action Hero as well.
Yes,
where Stallone,
I just watched that movie
where Stallone was the Terminator.
Yeah, that was great.
When they went to the Blockbuster and the kid pointed out that all these Blockbuster employees are supermodels.
Yeah.
We must be living in a movie.
Oh gosh, that's great.
And Arnold said, "That's Hollywood."
Love it.
Anyhow, where was I going with this? Oh, and so And so Austin is working on not one but two Old World armies. So
Wow.
he's going to champion the Old World, and
Dwarves and Gobos?
he's doing dwarves and he's doing goblins simultaneously, so that he can put together games and play games against whoever wants to play goblins.
Smart.
And get the itch on people. You know how it is when you get the itch.
Infect them, yeah.
That's right. You infect them like a Zomberg,
Yep.
and the next thing you know, they're out here on eBay, paying $140 for a high elf.
It is tax season.
And it is tax season. I paid in mine.
Yeah,
Bunch of busters with your refunds. It upset me. It messed up the whole game. But I've got a top 5 list before we even get to the main topic. But first, I want to talk a little bit about what I've been doing in the hobby besides the hobby night. Oh, on hobby night, Valerie and I both took a Judge Dredd figure. I took one of my last remaining city defense force dudes, and she took one of the one of the angry mob of Mega City. The Mega City, citizen mob, I think they call it, is an old man with a cane. And we both got our minis painted. Hobby night kind of goes from about 5-ish to 8.
Right.
We were done and dusted with 45 minutes to go.
Well, there you go.
And just working on little details and stuff. And we looked around.
Hand-eye coordination.
Man, just painting a lot of stuff. The other thing that I've been painting is I've been working on some of her Slanesh Demon 40K army, and I've been
Whole new world.
I've been working on the Fiends. The Fiends are those. They look like anteater, 4-legged, walkie, hermaphroditic creatures.
Usually, what you described to me is a seeker, but
it's like a
fiend.
Yeah, so a fiend is like a
Fiend.
seeker, but the fiend has got more claws.
It's weird because, Drukhari have a model called a Fiend too, so that I'm getting them confused. Oh, boy, I'm going to have to Google that later.
Man, I did a bunch of work with airbrushing. I got a lot of purple on them. So
the big mob of them?
There's 3 of them. They're pretty big.
Not that bad.
They're 3 to 6. They're 3 to 6 to a unit. And there's one variant of them that is like the champion type thing if you're in Age of Sigmar. But otherwise, in 40K, they're all the same right now. But
the anteater horse.
Yeah, the anteater centaur horse
with
thing.
the scorpion tail. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got 2 of them. I got one totally painted. The others just got some detail work left. But what was crazy is I painted them purple, and then I started highlighting up a lighter purple, and then I got to glazing, and I also sprayed on some flesh color, like on their underbelly and across their spiny backs and things. And so I'm blending that into the purple and really kind of getting good at glazing and blending. I'm not wet blending either. This is just like making the thing happen with various glaze passes. And I'm not feeling 100% confident in them and how they're looking. I will probably give you a picture to post for the Whip Wednesday, either this week or next, on them. But I feel like what I'm discovering is that I've got a bit of a lane where I really feel comfortable painting. And it's
the Shane lane.
Yeah, and so A1, A2. A1 is probably it's just humanoid uniform stuff. And then A2 is humanoid character. And then below that is monsters and vehicles, or really just vehicles.
Different methods.
Just vehicles after that. And then finally, at the very bottom, is non-humanoid creatures.
Yeah.
That's my hierarchy of things I prefer to paint. I don't think that, if there was some kind of creature-heavy army, I don't think I'd be digging it so much. But
says the man with a whole army of ghosts at his house.
Yeah, and if you recall, if our listeners have listened to a lot of episodes, the ghosts did not always spark joy. It was
that is true. You did say that was an issue.
It always felt like running in sand with the ghosts, and it's a similar feeling with the fiends. However, I've gotten so much better at some of the technical painting processes that I think that they're turning out quite good, and it's going fine. So maybe I'll get to the end of this Slanesh army painting, assist, because Valerie does, the intent is for her to do quite a bit of work, especially as we get toward the middle and things, that third group of demonettes, after she's seen it and gotten her eye in on some other stuff, she may be able to knock that out at a high enough level that they won't look out of place with the rest of them. But that's what I've been doing hobby-wise.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, I've been working on our March for Macragge challenge that we are doing. For those of you who don't know, both of us are painting up a Space Marine, not a Ultramarine. Just want to specify. Usually people paint Ultramarines, but me and Shane have chosen 2 successor chapters at random, and we are going to paint a Space Marine each. Post the photos onto the socials, see what you guys think, and then you guys decide who's the winner. And of course, as with most of our challenges, those Space Marines will be donated to our local game store. As well, I have also went to my local Games Workshop store.
Where?
In Memphis, Tennessee.
How was that?
Well, my wife was visiting family, managed to grab me this monthly free mini that I cannot figure out what it is. It is a goat man. Like, I know what it is lore-wise. I don't know what the name is. Don't know what unit it would be in the game. It's a beast man, bull-type character. I can grab him right behind my shoulder for you. So Mike's in the air.
Go ahead and grab him. I mean, is he like a Felgor Beastman from the Kill Team?
That's probably
yes,
it.
Yes,
there you go.
Yeah,
so,
that's
there you go. Felgor Beastman.
Yeah, that's one of the Felgor Beastman dudes from Kill Team.
Yeah, pulled it out of the box. I was like, what is this?
Possibly he's some variant of the Kill Team guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a. I mean, I imagine he's on a 32 millimeter base. He could be a stand-in for either Felgor Beastman, Kill Team guy, or, well, I was going to say he could be Warcry, except he's got a little bolt pistol in his hand, which that would be a little bit out of place.
That's usually the determining factor. I was like, what is this? I was like, there's no way this is AOS because he's got a gun.
Yeah, no, Hundo P. This is Felgor Beastman from Kill Team.
Yeah, and I've been working on a few other things. Got laid off from a job, and so I've been just hobbying a lot. Messing around outside, planting plants, gardening and stuff. So, we'll be doing I'll probably be doing a lot more with the socials and stuff coming up here soon. So look out for that stuff, guys.
Well, it's a good thing that's not stressful at all.
Oh yeah, I had to take a few days off to just kind of let my brain reset. I was kind of like, I wasn't in shock, but I was very, just like, what's going on?
How am I gonna feed these kids?
Nah, my tax refund came in, so I'm good.
Yeah, a lump sum of money with nothing coming behind it is fine financial planning.
When Gork closes a door, Mork hits you in the face with another.
Close the bits box. Man, I'm enjoying these top 5s. Casey, I've got a top 5 list for you.
Oh, you do?
Last night.
Thought we were doing a lore pod today.
We are doing a lore pod, but I'm going to knock out a quick 5 real quick, unless, you're
no, go ahead. I mean, I've never seen you this amped up about stuff, so
well,
go for it.
I was drinking on the golf course.
I was drinking last night, sir, and I'm still feeling it.
So last night I was watching the Adepticon reveals.
Who wasn't?
I think everybody was watching the Adepticon reveals on Twitch, straight from the Warhammer thing. I found that hard to find. I asked some people where it would be, and they were like, I think Twitch, yada, yada. And
they got there on Twitch stuff.
I ended up having to go to the website to Warcom and click the link and da-da-da. But anyway, I watched the entire thing, and here are my top 5 Adepticon reveals. Number 5 has to do with Abraxia, the new Chaos Age of Sigmar,
the spear lady
with a spear. Okay,
looks cool.
They did not do double, triple. No, they did quadruple elimination on telling us the story about how Archeon gave her this spear to test her, and so that she may maintain her concentration to not transform to the powers of chaos. It was 4 chunks of the show in a row talking about Abraxia and her challenge.
Wow.
Over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, now I think about it, it was quite a chunk.
Quadruple elimination. What happened was they kept on having a new guy talking about a different part of the current Chaos AOS thing, and their talking points had been told to them to be mention Abraxia and Archeon's challenge of her.
It's almost like they want to sell models.
Well, I just wish they'd given like a chunk of script to each guy, because it was 4 times in a row that we heard about her spear and her needing to maintain concentration and not transform.
She's the Harkin world killer of Sigmar, huh?
She does look cool. Look,
I'd paint it.
I have a black army with gold trim. I don't need another.
What's your number 4?
But she's cool. Number 4, Mountain Dwarves for Old World.
Yeah, those look cool.
Listen, man. The homie Austin, between him and his dwarves and his goblins, and talking about it and watching the Odd Battle Report on Tabletop Tactics, your boy's got a little hankering for some Old World, and I think it's going to have to be the High Elves. So I got on eBay because first I went and checked Games Workshop website to see what units they had. And the answer was none, because they don't make any of them anymore. So I go on eBay, and they want like $120 for some poorly painted random units. And I don't know what's what or who's who or why's how. So I'm going to have a chance to get my money back up after paying these taxes to be able to buy them whenever they refresh the Elven range. Hopefully it will
Number
not be very long. Number 3, the Votan in the Kill Team box.
Yes. Not the Brood Brothers?
No, I don't care anything about them.
Okay. Go for it.
Shocker, Gene Stealer Cult did not show up on either of our top 5 factions, I don't think, did it?
Actually, no, you're right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Them and the Tau can do one. But anyhow, it turns out that the most prime piece of technology that the Votan are in possession of are sick jackets.
They do have good jackets.
Man, that Kill Team...
It's like a scout unit, I believe.
Well, they're like they're orc commandos of the Votan. And they looked amazing. And so...
they do look really cool. The sniper guy did, too.
The whole time that the preview show was going on, I was in the group chat with the local community, and we were just, talking S as you do. And... And some guys were like, man, got to have that box. And I'm like, I will play you all over and over again in some Kill Team. Number 2. Age of Sigmar 4th edition. I have wanted to play Age of Sigmar. I bought the entire Night Haunt army. I have not played a game.
It's include the reveal that they did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, number 2 is... a couple of things. So there's going to be a new edition of Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
They've written it from the ground up, just like they did 10th edition 40K. I had wanted to play Age of Sigmar, but the problem was I knew that 3rd edition was near its end. It was sunsetting, as they call it. So I never did buy the Night Haunt book, because I'm like, I don't know how long it's going to be good. And also, it's so complicated. I jumped onto this 40K train at the end of 9th, and it was moving really fast, and that was hard. And Age of Sigmar, it was even more of that. So I'm really happy about this indexing, where I'm going to have to buy, because they're like, the rules are going to be available online, they're going to be an app, da-da-da. Same kind of thing as 40K. So, and then they were like, but we'll have unit cards. So all I have to do is buy unit cards for my ghosties and go play. I'm thrilled. Number 1... favorite thing from Adepticon.
Oh.
All the chaos stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Man, I
thought you were going to say Skaven for a second. I was like, you're a true blue Abaddon boy.
We got a new Chaos Lord. We got a new Chaos Lord with Jump Pack.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to be able to bust up my group of 10 Raptors and put one with that dude and one with Harkin, and we'll just go screaming through the skies.
Yeah, I knew you'd go for it because, man, you love those Jump Pack boys.
Well, and I also love characters. So
true.
Also, what they're doing 2 boxes. One box is going to have the Jump Pack guy and some Raptors and yada yada, and the other box is going to have the Chaos Lord and some Legionary and some yada yada. And I don't need either of those boxes. I have nearly everything in both boxes except for those 2 characters, and I can't wait to get them, paint them up. They will be so lovely. Those are my top 5 things from Adepticon.
I will let you know I'm excited for Skaven.
Yeah, Skaven are cool. They're love back. Skaven. I'm real hyped for Old World.
Horned Rat.
Get in the comments. Get on X at
let
40K
us know what you think.
At 40K Fanatics on X, and let us know your top 5 favorite Adepticon reveals. That's my top 5 done. Let's hit this main topic, sir. We got 25 minutes to fill.
Okay, we're talking about Roboute Guilliman, so I'm going to have to blast through this much faster now. So
I don't think that's true.
Guilliman is a chunky boy when it comes to the lore, but we'll try to do our best. So,
where'd he come from?
As you know, all the Primarchs got yeeted into the warp. Gestation capsule lands on a planet called Macragge. And it's a bleak planet, but it's not unhospitable. It's bleak as in if you or I were transported back to ancient Greece or Rome, we'd have a hard time.
Were there like roving bands of people and whatnot?
There were barbarians, yes. So he gets found by these nobles who were out on a scouting or hunting party, and the head one, who is like the leader of the biggest country states thing on the planet, Connor Guilliman, finds him and is like, "That baby's awesome. I'm gonna take him with me."
The big baby.
So they name him Roboute Guilliman. In their language, it is translate to the Great One.
Big baby.
So the what the plot armor is kind of coming on really thick already. Anyways, Guilliman gets taken under his wing and raised as his surrogate son. Guilliman took, to any information that Connor could give him like a duck on water. They were on Macragge. They are highly militaristic, very strict people, and they just love politics and fighting, really. Apparently, the system of planets around Macragge used to be a star empire during the age of technology before, the Skynet stuff. So, cut to Macragge, we got a grown-up Guilliman. A couple years later, he's like, wow, my son is like 12 feet tall now and looks like a jacked Chad. So he sends him out on a mission. Guilliman goes out, does his mission with his boys because he's now old enough and smart enough and strong enough to lead military units. They're like, hey, go take care of some barbarians at our gates. He goes out. Not only does he take his army out and is victorious, he finds a diplomatic solution, doesn't lose a single soldier, and gets peace and friendship with the barbarians. Just easy. No problem. Then he comes back, finds the capital and his homeland in flames. Fall of Rome style.
Had he been fooled?
Nope. Turns out that his father's political rival decided to stage a coup. Got a bunch of mercenaries and ruffians to burn the place down so that they could weaken his influence. And, because Connor and Guilliman had both been putting stuff in place to make the people have more power, like jobs, industrialism, stuff that would give common people more of control. The nobles didn't really like that.
We got to keep these folks down, man.
Exactly. So they decided to get a coup. His dad, for 3 days, with a slit throat and serious injuries, led the fight against all of this from a hospital bed in and out of surgery for 3 days before he finally died in Roboute Guilliman's arms. Guilliman, ever the statesman, took control of the Senate diplomatically, actually. They tried to assassinate him right before he spoke.
Got to be hard to do.
Yeah, and in the end, he didn't even make himself leader. They voted him leader. So he becomes ruler of Macragge and then leads a empire out to the stars. Then Big E hears about stuff. He's like, oh, there's a large child that has made a whole planet flourish economically, politically, culturally.
I take it that Roboute also smashed all the heads of these.
Oh, he did, dude.
Of these insurrectionists.
There was a reckoning. The way that I like to describe Guilliman is his superpower is Microsoft Excel, but with this, afterwards, he took all of those nobles and all the mercenaries, put them in the street, and publicly executed them. From that day forward, if you didn't work for the good of yourself or the people of Macragge on any level of citizenship, then you were punished. And it still carries on to this day. No matter what, there's no corruption, no self, working, like nothing. It's great. Everybody, you get benefits for just about anything you do. It's awesome.
And Big E could not let this stand.
So he shows up, but there's a warp storm. Cuts him off for 5 years. When Big E shows up, Guilliman had made a star-spanning empire of 500 worlds connected by economy, politics, and diplomacy, thriving upon each other and him at the head. These would be known as the realm of Ultramar.
Ooh, that sounds very similar to the thing that Guilliman will eventually lead.
Yes. So then Big E's like, hey, you're my son. And Guilliman is like, well, you're a 14-foot tall glowing dude, and I'm kind of a 12-foot tall golden blonde dude. So, yeah, that makes sense.
So we should, go out.
Yeah, so he just took on his Space Marine Legion, the 13th Legion, that were called the Warborn.
So does that mean that Guilliman was the 13th found Primarch, or no?
Nope, that would mean that it pretty much means that he was the 13th Primarch made.
I see.
But not the 13th Primarch found.
Does the discovery and the assigning, is that like a documented thing or no? I know it's in some spots it gets fuzzy, right?
It is documented who was found at what time, and you could probably Google it. But I mean, I don't really know. I just know that Guilliman was probably early to mid. The last one was Alfarius. Like I'm doing air quotes, people. But yeah,
because Guilliman feels like an early one because he is spoiler, is allowed to have so much say so.
Yeah, he. You know how Primarchs recruit from their homeworld? He didn't just recruit from Macragge. He recruited from all 500 worlds. This would eventually lead to him having the biggest legion out of all of them. Second would be the Word Bearers, and he had twice as many.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So, cut to Great Crusade. Guilliman is out there fighting for the Emperor in the Emperor's name. He does a great job because he believes that not only to win, you need economics, you need supply routes, you need politics, diplomacy on top of everything. The Ultramarines had the best compliance rate because not only would they show up and beat you, sometimes they did it just through diplomacy. And then when they were there, they would improve your lives and earn your loyalty, and you would back them up after they left. In case, they got into trouble down the line, they just call back to the planet and say, hey, we need some recruits. We need more Ultramarines. Let's call that planet we just left like 5 minutes ago.
And at this point, they're not Ultramarines.
No, he did. They were called the Warborn, but they got renamed to the Ultramarines from Ultramar.
Post-heresy or before even?
This is pre-heresy.
Okay, so they had their name, unlike all the rest that kind of ended up
a lot of the legions have a
assigned.
name, and then when they meet their Primarch, they get a new one.
I see.
Yes. So, like the Luna Wolves.
So these guys are in the blue.
Big Blue now.
All right. Right from the jump.
Yeah, as soon as Guilliman gets him, he's like, you're Ultramarines now? Let's go.
I like it.
So the Ultramarines have the best compliance rate, the highest number of Legionnaires, and probably are the most influential, if I'm being honest.
They are the ones on the poster.
When Horus was named War Master, Guilliman was honestly fine with it. He thought it was good. He held I think they were called the Dauntless Few, a list of other Primarchs that were not only loyal, but also reliable. That if the Ultramarines ever had to count on them to go with them in a fight, then these Primarchs and their legions would help them. They would win, no doubt.
This has to be like
Rogel Dorn?
Imperial Fists.
Yeah, Rogel Dorn, Lehman Russ, Sanguinius, and Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands.
Just old ditch diggers.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to bandwagon these guys and let's go.
You know who we not fixing to call?
Who?
Angron and them boys.
Exactly. So then eventually, you know what happens with Lorgar.
Lorgar
He smacks his posterior.
Right.
Yes, Lorgar was worshiping the Emperor as a god. the Emperor calls up Guilliman and his boys and raise the capital city holy site of Monarchia to the ground.
Yeah,
in front.
Lorgar was the word bearer guy.
Yes.
Right.
In front of the Legion of the Word Bearers and Lorgar himself. They took this, and to quote a meme, they took it kind of personally. So, yeah, Lorgar never really forgave them for that. And, Lorgar went to heresy. Eventually, we went to the Horus heresy.
So Roboute was given the order, go mess up Lorgar's whole deal, and he's like, okay.
Yes. Because, be a loyal son. Do your duty. Courage and honor in all things.
See, that seems wild to me because
But we did not agree with it.
Right, because we've got others that are much more sort of dogmatic.
100%. Yeah, and
But
Guilliman is very level-headed, very calm.
Yeah, it makes sense that the more dogmatic guys would be like, yeah, whatever you say, boss.
Exactly.
But then Guilliman is always like he's done the thing that Big E has done already. It surprises me that he'd be like, yeah, I'll go thump him.
Yeah, he honestly, honor and courage in all things apply for Guilliman. On top of the thing with economics and diplomacy, if you're going to do something, do it right, do it in an honorable fashion, and don't disgrace yourself or the people that you work with.
But he's also on that good clones follow orders.
Yes, so, I mean, it's the Emperor. If the Emperor tells you to do it, that's not only your dad, but the head of the whole Imperium. He tells him to go down there, and he actually apologizes to Lorgar, and I think Lorgar, slugs him in the face and says, you enjoyed every last bit of that. And he's like, no, dude, I didn't. And he forgives him and just lets him leave. It was a whole thing. Anyways, after that, we have the Horus False Chaos. Then we have the Istvan 9/11 atrocities, the two situations.
And that was the Ultramarines that got in that?
No, they were not involved with that. But that sets the stage for Horus sending Primarchs out to stop the Dark Angels and the Ultramarines. Yeah. So he sends the Night Haunter to stop the Dark Angels, and he sends Lorgar to stop Guilliman. He sends a message to Guilliman, says, hey, there's a big orc war heading to one of your biggest planets, Calth. You'll hear about this because there's 5 books about it. Go and reinforce the word bearers, fight off these orcs, win the day. Goes there, drops out of the warp. Lorgar immediately starts firing on him, blows away half his fleet. But like I said, biggest legion, right? Gets into a fight with Lorgar and his boys. Lorgar literally tries to summon a demon on the deck of his command ship, and it blows out the windows, and Guilliman gets sent out into open space with no helmet. And he is... This is when the calm Guilliman is gone. He starts murdering... He holds his breath and murders non-stop bird bears in zero gravity, floating without a helmet on.
Sick.
Just carnage. Insanity. The battle is extremely reductive. It's just like the brutality. I can't explain it. Drop pods are getting blown up before they can come out. People, Space Marines are getting blown out by the dozens and hundreds. It's insane. Ships are just going left and right, and Guilliman's reacting like a pro, but also he's very mad. Eventually, Erebus gets involved, and so does Angron. Angron backs up the numbers. And oh my gosh, I can't.
Is Angron ascended at this point?
He is not, but he's about to. The word bears are backed up by the World Eaters and Angron. And the Ultramarines and Guilliman are so furious they are matching the carnage of the World Eaters in battle. Oh my gosh! So Erebus decides to pull a really quirky trick, and Lorgar is like, "Shoot all your bombs at the sun and give them a sunburn." And from then on, the whole planet's irradiated, and they have to fight underground. Moving on, Lorgar and Angron go back to Angron's homeworld, where he fights both of them. Fist fights Lorgar for a good time, almost kills him, gets him on death's door. Angron just bursts onto the scene, like rip and tear, Doom guy style, and well, the butcher's nails on his head start killing him. he just goes into a more and more furious rage fighting Guilliman, and Guilliman is still a Primarch, but not able to go through a DPS tank, if you know what I mean. So, dual-wielding chainswords, nonstop at him. Guilliman is having to fall back, guard, parry, block, the whole thing. And the Ultramarines have to retreat. It was in this fight that Lorgar actually uses his Humana Chaos influence to tell Khorne, hey, look at this guy. And Angron, as he's dying, ascends to becoming a Demon Primarch in the battlefield. Saves his life.
Wicked.
Yeah, I know, right? Just blood everywhere. Carnage. It's insanity. Dogs and cats living together. Nuts. Anyways, after this, the Ultramarines have kind of lost half the Legion, or a little bit over half the Legion, and they're kind of limping from this point back to Macragge when they're like, we have to get to Terra. So they try to recoup their losses, get going, and that's when Erebus and Lorgar are like, hey, I got an idea. Let's throw a wrench in that. That's when they do their Humana magic again and cause that ruin storm that I mentioned in a previous episode.
Yeah, and that's the one that delays. Didn't it delay the Dark Angels as well?
Yes, delayed the Ultramarines, and the Dark Angels showed up due to the Ultramarines having a alien technology that was like a mini Astronomicon.
I see.
So the Dark Angels show up, the Blood Angels show up, and Guilliman's like, let's start a second Imperium to save humanity and keep everything going because everyone's definitely dead. Can't get nothing out. This is Guilliman's biggest secret to date because, it could be seen as him trying to be Horus. And to prevent this, he really didn't want it. He really didn't want to do that. So he gave it to Sanguinius, said, Sanguinius, you will be the Emperor Regent of this Imperium Secundus. Then they find out the Emperor's still alive, and they beeline back to Terra.
Where the whole battle has been kicking off for some time at this stage.
Oh, yeah. So the Blood Angels get there, and the Dark Angels and Ultramarines just don't make it in time. Guilliman is named... Well, let's back up. Big E gets put on his big immobile electric chair, life support system. Sanguinius dies. Horus dies. And the traitors run off to the warp. We've talked about that in our Horus episode. Now we are at the scourging of the traitors. Guilliman is named the Regent and Lord Commander of the Imperium by, I guess, a unanimous vote. He puts in a lot of different policies because, like I said, he loves paperwork. And he starts up a little book, you probably heard of it, the Codex Astartes.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
That's the big boy one. Basically an operating manual on how to be a Space Marine. Now, it kind of split up the Primarchs who were still loyal. A lot of them really didn't want to do it, and you know who was the deciding factor? It would be Rogel Dorn.
The tank one.
Yeah, big tank just rolls through the walls. It's like, yes, I vote yes on this book. Oprah seal right on the cover.
Him and Lehman Russ.
On their talk shows, like, read this book.
From the car park.
So Guilliman puts out this book, and it says, no matter how good your intentions are, no matter what, you cannot have a legion anymore. Not happening. It's caused too much destruction. 1,000-man chapters, because we don't need a hammer anymore. We need a knife. Because legions move slower, take longer to prepare and make. Chapters, easy. Move fast, strike hard. Efficiency.
Which all seems well and fine until the Tyranids rock up.
Yep, that was a big problem because eventually the dogmatic side of the Imperium took over, and the Ultramarines started following the Codex Astartes basically like a Bible. And then the Tyranids show up, and they're like,
we don't have the dudes for this, and we've created an impossible standard.
And we don't know what to do. So anyways, Guilliman moves off and tries to go back to Macragge and starts working on the Scourge with everybody else, get rid of the Loyalists or the traitor Primarchs. He heads back to Macragge, and he ends up in two big battles. One, he goes to a pretty unknown world, and he fights the Alpha Legion, who have tried twice during the heresy to have him assassinated. Like, Ultramarines walk into his office like, hey, we need your stamp on this. And then they're like, we're Alpha Legion. Stamp. Check. It's happened twice. He goes to this random planet, and he supposedly kills Alpharius. I'm doing the air quotes again, everybody. Kills Alpharius, even though the Alpha Legion didn't slow down at all. And there have been reports of Alpharius through lots of history. And then he fights Fulgrim, which will lead to us to the current day. Fulgrim shanks him with the poison blade during their fight because Fulgrim is full demon prince at this point. Full four-armed snake with wings, poison blades that just materialize in his hands. Shanks him in the neck, and he gets poisoned to death just to the point where he's about to die. So the Ultramarines and the other chapters of the Ultramarines take him back to Macragge, put him in a stasis field where hopefully he will heal. And there he sat for 10,000 years.
Wow. So that was what?
Yeah.
Roboute is like year what then? That was post heresy.
Yeah.
He gets put in stasis. We fast forward all the way to 40K and some odd, and now he's out of stasis.
Yeah, he was doing policies to prevent religion. He was helping the Imperium survive, and then fights Fulgrim, and then boom, they put him in like not a cryopod, but like it just freezes everything.
Right, I hadn't realized that he was sidelined for that long.
Yeah, 10,000 years. They put him in this big shrine on Macragge, and for 10,000 years they sat there. People would make pilgrimages to Macragge just to go see the body of a living Primarch. Well, living, and they would say, "Oh, he's healing. He's getting fixed. It's going away," and it really wasn't. It was just like a pause button. And then cut to 10,000 years later, Abaddon's 13th Black Crusade, and he comes back.
How and why?
Eldari magic, Adeptus Mechanicus tomfoolery.
Really?
Yeah, but before all of this happened, he also put in contingencies, because that's what Guilliman's all about. He hit up a guy named Belisarius Cawl in the just before he fought Fulgrim and said, "Can you make me better Space Marines?" And he also made the Codex Astartes. So yeah, 10,000 years later,
and the Primaris project was begun.
Yep.
So, how much does Guilliman keep to himself that Eldari magic and Adeptus Mechanicus full tomfoolery are what has got him back on the field?
He doesn't flaunt it, but he doesn't hide it.
Really? Because that seems highly heretical.
I mean, are you going to go up to a Primarch and call him heretical?
I mean, I wouldn't, but the Inquisition,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
The Inquisition might, because I imagine that his reaction to where things had gotten after 10,000 years was quite...
Oh, dude, he
was quite disappointed.
He immediately wanted to just die. He hated it. And on that note, we will save that for another edition, because that is the current Dark Millennium that we are in. We are caught up. You know more about Guilliman, and I hope you appreciate that. So, Shane, do you have our Space Marine fun fact?
I don't, but I think you probably do, and I do have a question that I think would be good for our exclusive Space Marine segment.
Yes.
Roboute Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines, does have a model. It's got more gold trim than you can shake all your paintbrushes at.
Oh boy, yes.
But he's also got a sword.
The Emperor's sword.
That's what I wanted to know.
And we will talk about that in another video. My Space Marine segment that I will end this on is, did you know?
Probably not.
That Uriel Ventress is a member of the Ultramarines. Have a good night, everybody.